When John Glenn launched on his Friendship 7 mission in 1962, NASA was very well prepared for the eventuality that he wouldn't actually make it. John Glenn launched on an Atlas missile, which was kind of repurposed into the space program, and up until that point, it had something like a 51% success rate, which meant there was a just over 50% chance that he was actually going to make it. At the time, missiles had a lot of problems, and often they actually exploded at launch, so there was a real risk to his launching on this flight. If everything went wrong and the worst happened, NASA had a whole proposal of how to notify the right people in what order to make sure that everything was handled as well as possible. So first and foremost would be calling his wife, Annie Glenn. This would be a call from the White House expressing sincere condolences. At about the same time, the Vice President, Lyndon Johnson, who was head of the Space Council, would release a formal statement on behalf of the White House. As was prepared, the statement read, in part, "The death of John Glenn is a profound and personal loss to me and every American. His gallant effort to advance man's knowledge of the space that surrounds our Earth should never be forgotten. I would propose that the government establish a permanent scholarship in his name for promising space science students to advance the cause for which he gave his life." Next would come statements from NASA Administrator James Webb and head of the Mercury program, Robert Gilruth. Then there would be a press conference at the Cape where the media would be let in on what happened, but all of the material about the flight, voice transcripts, any recordings, everything relating to the rocket, the spacecraft, the spacesuits, everything would be impounded and not released until a thorough investigation had been completed. Of course, this whole plan was in place, but it wasn't needed. John Glenn flew 3 orbits on February 20th, 1962 to become the first American to circle the planet.